Good evening, viewers, and a warm welcome to Science News with me, Ruth Moini, and our sign language interpreter is Irene Chebiwot. Indeed, a sad day for Kenya as a nation as we mourn the pass away of the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. Our condolences to the family and the country at large. And in our news, the man they called Baba, he was more than just a politician. He was a force of nature. Raila Amolo Odinga, affectionately known as Baba by his millions of supporters, was one of country's most influential and enduring political figures, a man whose life story is linked to the nation's storm journey. Born of the son of Kenya's first Vice President, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Raila was raised in a family that valued justice, equality, and fierce nationalism. That foundation was sharpened thousands of miles away by the University of Leipzig in East Germany, where he earned a degree in mechanical engineering. He returned home to lecture at the University of Nairobi before venturing into business, but the call of public service was too strong to ignore. Raila's true political journey began in the 1980s, placing him directly at the heart of Kenya's fight for multi-party democracy. Under the repressive Moi regime, he became a symbol of defiance. He was detained without trial multiple times for his relentless pro-democracy advocacy. Despite persecution, he remained steadfast, earning admiration both locally and internationally as a true symbol of Kenya's resilience and struggle for justice. In 1992, Raila Odinga was finally elected to parliament, marking the start of an impactful public career. As Minister for Energy, he implemented critical reforms that liberalized the sector. Later, as Minister for Roads, he championed major infrastructure projects that improved national connectivity and fueled economic growth. The former Prime Minister's influence reached its peak when he served as Kenya's Prime Minister from the year 2008 to 2013 in the historic Grand Coalition government, a unity pact forged after the disputed 2007 election crisis. In this role, he was the chief architect of national reconciliation, leading the charge of key institutional reforms and overseeing the implementation of the revolutionary 2010 Constitution, ushering in an era of devolution and new governance. A champion of coalitions, a five-time presidential contender, Raila consistently led transformative political coalitions from the Orange Democratic Movement and the Azimio la Umoja movement. His decades of leadership have cemented his reputation as a champion of democracy, inclusivity, and social justice. Raila Odinga's political
lakini baada ya haya yote tutasema yasiyopita si ndwele, tunaganga yaliyomo na yajayo, tukasema tushikane pamoja.
I will not be blackmailed, Mr. Speaker, because what I'm doing, I know I'm doing it in the interest and the best interest of this nation, Mr. Speaker. And I say that I'm prepared to pay the political price, Mr. Speaker.
Amolo Odinga, in full realization of the high calling, assumed the office of the People's President of the Republic of Kenya. So help me God.
My running mate and Cabinet Secretary for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the Honorable Martha Wangari Karua.
Following the demise of former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, President William Ruto has declared a 7-day period of national mourning. In a solemn national address delivered from State House, the President confirmed that Mr. Odinga, who died earlier today in Kochi, India, will be accorded a state funeral with full honors in recognition of his decades-long service to the nation. To honor the late opposition leader, the President announced that the national flag will fly half-mast across the country and all Kenyans' missions abroad through the mourning period. President Ruto immediately announced the formation of a high-level funeral committee to coordinate all matters and arrangements in consultation with the Raila Odinga's family. The committee will be co-chaired by Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and Siaya Senator Oburu Odinga. Furthermore, the government of India has offered to facilitate the repatriation of Mr. Odinga's remains following a request from the Kenyan government. A high-level delegation led by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has already departed for India to oversee the process.
A fearless freedom fighter and a tireless warrior of good governance. Raila Amolo Odinga's name will forever be etched in the story of our republic, a story of struggle, sacrifice, courage, rule of law, hope, and of our pursuit for excellence. For decades, Raila dedicated his life to the pursuit of justice, equity, and freedom. He endured detention and persecution so that this nation might know and enjoy democracy. He championed reforms that gave birth to the rights and freedoms we hold dear today. His voice spoke for the oppressed. His conviction inspired generations, and his vision shaped the course of our history. Raila Amolo Odinga is truly a once-in-a-generation leader, a man whose ideals transcended politics and whose legacy will shape the destiny of Kenya for generations to come. A giant who towered for decades over our democratic landscape. He was a colossus of Kenya's modern politics, an indomitable warrior in our struggle for freedom and prosperity, and a statesman of boundless selflessness. In his passing, we have lost a patriot of uncommon courage, a Pan-Africanist, a unifier who sought peace and unity above power and self-gain, an unceasing servant of the people who gave his all to the promise of a better Kenya. On behalf of a grateful nation, I extend my deepest condolences to Mama Ida, his children, Rosemary, Raila Jr., and Winnie, the entire Odinga family, led by my brother Oburu Oginga, to the leadership and members of Orange Democratic Movement, and to all Kenyans who share in this immense and immeasurable loss. In honor of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga's extraordinary contribution to our nation, I have declared a 7-day period of national mourning, during which the national flag shall fly at half-mast across the Republic of Kenya and in all our missions abroad. As a mark of respect, I have postponed all my public engagements for the coming days, and I ask all other public servants and leaders to do the same so that we can join the nation in this period of mourning and deep reflection. Our former Prime Minister, Raila Amolo Odinga, shall be accorded a state funeral with all attendant owners. In consultation with the family, a committee to be co-chaired by the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, and the Siaya Senator, Amolo Odinga, has been set up to coordinate the funeral arrangements. At the same time, the Government of India, at the request of the Government of Kenya, has offered to facilitate the repatriation of the remains of our former Prime Minister. Consequently, a delegation comprising government officials and family members, led by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, is leaving immediately for India to facilitate proper organization in the repatriation of the remains of our brother, the Honorable Raila Odinga. Other members of the delegation are Cabinet Secretaries Kipchumba Murkomen, Hassan Joho, and other ministers, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, Minority Leader Junet Mohammed, and other members of the Odinga family, Jaoko Oburu Odinga, Kevin Obio Oginga, and others. And Mama Aida herself, the family has finally decided that she will join those who will be going to recover the remains of the Honorable Raila Odinga. Fellow patriots, we have lost a beacon of courage, a tower of principle, and a father of our democracy. Let us come together as he always urged us to do, not as rivals, but as brothers and sisters bound by a shared destiny. As we mourn, I call on all Kenyans to reflect on his towering legacy.
Tributes from national and political leaders have continued to pour in following the death of former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, who passed away on Wednesday morning in India at the age of 80. The veteran opposition leader's death has been met with profound sorrow across the political spectrum, with figures reflecting his influence on the nation's history. Leading the tributes, former President Uhuru Kenyatta delivered a moving eulogy describing the late former Prime Minister as a friend, brother, and a true son of Kenya. Kenyatta expressed that Odinga's passing leaves a deep void in the nation's heart, acknowledging the immeasurable impact of his long career in the public service and pro-democracy activism. In addition to the former head of state, Raila's former advisor, Salim Lon, and several other leaders have sent messages of condolence to the family, friends, and supporters of the late ODM party leader. As Science Media, we also condole with the former Prime Minister's family following his demise. May his soul find eternal rest. And a wave of profound grief swept through Siaya County today as tens of mourners thronged the Opoda farm of former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, who passed away this morning in India. Young and old, the mourners carried twigs and clubs as they wailed and cursed the sudden death, expressing shock and despair over the timing of the colossal loss. Among the leaders who visited Mr. Odinga's rural home was Siaya Governor James Orengo, who later addressed the media, confirming a deep sense loss of engulfing the region. Governor Orengo immediately announced the suspension of all preliminary sessions at side events of the ongoing Siaya conference.
Hello? Hebu tutulie kidogo niseme kidogo tu. Poleni sana. Wange. Cover the cameras. Cover the media. Poleni sana. Najua nyinyi wote mmeshtuka kwa yale metokea. Hatukutegemea ingekuwa hivi, lakini imeshafanyika. Kwa hivyo mtulie na mimi na
Maliza kitu. Maliza biashara.
Take a short break. We'll be right back.